Institute. They have one that has been, I think it is 70 feet down, quite a foot, and they say that for their conference center, it caters to all their air conditioning needs. But that is the first place where I saw that concept. And I wanted to do it. My challenge at that time was, so I'm just going through the thought process. That when you're thinking, you'll get to know this. My challenge was, how do I build this thing? As an architect, yeah, we have lots of. And originally I thought I will get this kadapa. You've seen I got kadapa stone and lentils and all that, which is concrete blocks. Okay, so if I have to go to the top, within 1,000 rupees I can get it.
But going top, I mean, we will keep one opening in this room and then again up.
So when I'm going top, this one here.
So whether that effect will suffice?
No, I'll explain.
150 cubic feet of air. Is there any specific norm for that? I mean,
typically the larger, that's the reason I said if you can afford a 3-foot diameter thing, you can do it.
And if we
then same way do this guy and keep on doing. Barabar. So you have what you need.
Are you working or not? Wow. So Trupti, how does it feel watching a husband do this kind of
Very
stuff?
good. I'm so glad. I want to see him all the time doing these kind of work.
So he's allowed to quit?
Yes, very much.
For everything else we are using countersunk because we wanted to go flush with the wood. Any questions? So thickness, length, pan CSK, what is there? Full threaded, half threaded.
When you hit it with the hammer?
No, you drill the hole first, right? You drill. So for example, for the top, right, the job that you're doing now, instead of nails, we could have used the half thread screw because it would go through the top 1 inch and it would screw into the bottom.
Maybe till yesterday, the 6th day. The things went so slow that I was feeling it's a month break now.
Wow.
It's not 6 days. I felt like it's already a month because I got so much of time exploring myself, exploring nature, getting in touch with people. Like I have heard when I was small, the birds of same feathers flock together. I saw all with different feathers, and we'll still are flocking together.
Wow.
Different age, different community, different background, different world, different culture. Still we were all together. Like in a room we will get a AC, which will keep us cool. Here there is no fan, no AC, natural air, and still we are cool.
I mean, the first thing I feel how relaxed I'm feeling after a week. The pace of life, it has really kind of slowed down my everything, I mean, that tension and that stress which I was experiencing, and feeling a little more clearer, what I really want to do now. There were so many thoughts actually were going through my mind when I came here, but now I think I'm ready, I just get the feeling, and most important, I'm actually kind of happy with myself for last 7 days. Otherwise I always constantly keep evaluating whether I'm doing it right, wrong. I mean, forgiving design, I mean, that thing of forgiving yourself and just feeling good about whatever you're doing is a big takeaway.
I like riding that, I don't know what you call it, but it's like that tractor type of tiller. Yeah.
Tiller.
So I like riding that the most out of everything.
to be with nature, this is a great time. You learn, it's really a learning environment in the nature. So we never used to do so many simple things, and lots of comfort level is quite high at cities. So we are not used to it. So there we lack so many concepts technically, you see the ideas, the creativity over it. So here we get all that things whichever we are lacking, and we can have, it's a freedom basically, freedom as well as, I mean, the freedom is required for the learning. and that we get here. It's a simplest and easiest and fun do.
Yeah. What I like about Hasmukh, he's first of all a fabulous guy. He wants to focus on education of the youth. And then he does the theory part as well. And there's theory and practical and theory and practical. And it's at a pace that's amazing. You're feeling tired, that's okay, chill, relax. You can come back, ask questions. He's patient, he'll repeat the answers. And he's always willing, always wanting, always ready to talk and teach and impart his knowledge. That's what he seems to want to dedicate his life to. And there are a lot of people who talk and they don't do. He's a guy of action. He's done this amazing thing. His lovely 5 acres or 8 acres that he's got. He has got a little banana plantation, which is actually one of the reasons why it's cool out here in the month of May. And one of the things I really like and which go very deep for me is his concept called the forgiving design. And when he's teaching, he talks about mistakes being a part of the teaching process, a part of the learning process. Because until you don't make a mistake, you actually don't learn. So you learn best only when you make mistakes. And I think this is the fundamental difference between schools that are designed to make sure they punish you, they shout at you. So you're brought up in schools thinking making the mistake is the most unforgivable thing to do, and if you do make mistakes, you're useless, you're less, while here it is like, see, now there's this mistake, so now see, this is what we can do to fix it, or this is so there's so much of allowance of a person. The experience is fabulous.
I think what worked out for me is having no expectations. Like when I was coming over here, I had time and didn't have expectations, and I just came over and that did the trick. The best part of being here is, I think, the slowness of things. Like there is no rush, so I think that's the best part of coming over to the ranch and meeting new people.
Yeah. What about you?
I think the highlight for me was the fact that how Hasmukh runs the farm. I mean, how he held the workshop where he asked us to just take it at our own pace and work as we please and do nothing if we please. And the whole part about forgiving design and forgiving learning, where you're allowed to make as many mistakes as possible. I think that kind of opened up a new horizon, like in our day-to-day lives too, where we should be more forgiving. So Vijay, he held a session with all of us where he spoke about the stars, the constellations, helped us identify them. Then he also got his telescope and showed us like the surface of the moon and Jupiter. Saturn, yeah. And you don't really get to do that in the city. And it was good learning.
Great.